Hi everybody, this is Sam. We're back for another video in our Climbing the Rating Ladder series for chess philosophy. So in this video, as you guys can see, I'm at my standing desk here. Unfortunately, my standing desk is malfunctioning for some reason, so I can't get it to go up or down. So it's stuck at the place that it's at right now, which is not the best vantage point for me playing chess. I'll have to kind of lean forward a little bit to play my moves, but we will work around it. Alright, so guys, in this video we're already at the 2100, so we're getting into very advanced chess territory. But I want to make all my videos accessible to any chess level. Okay, like I want to be able to make all of my videos accessible to anyone below 2200. So, I'm not going to make any of my explanations too hard. I'm going to explain everything the same way to everybody. Now, if stronger players have, more in-depth questions they want to ask me, that's always awesome, and I'll be happy to answer. That being said, I want my content to be accessible to everybody who loves chess and wants to become a master, or just likes, watching interesting games. All right, that being said, I think that, once I get an established rating here on Lichess, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle back and play the lower rating levels, because it actually started me out at 1500, which is pretty, that's pretty high. Like, that's a high intermediate level, and no one starts out like playing like a 1500 unless you're freaking Paul Morphy's son or something, or great grandson. You know what I mean? Great grandson. Whatever. And so after I get my established rating, guys, so don't worry, if you're below 1500, I'm going to go back to those levels. I'll probably start at 500 and go from there and play everybody and show you guys how you're going to beat them and what kind of mistakes they make, because it's not very helpful to see high level mistakes if you just know the moves. But if you just know the moves, please bear with me and just watch for entertainment and try to get a little bit, try to glean some higher concepts from this, and then take it into, when you're learning the rules and the fundamentals, now you kind of have a head start. All right, that being said, let's get a game started here. We're playing a 21, I'm rated 2100, so whoever we face should be very strong. Harry Chess Coach. He was rated 1999. Let's call him, it's a good year, but let's call him a 2000. Let's go with the Slav. I'll probably need to branch out a little bit, because the Slav is almost the only opening I play against e4 as black, but it's just such a good opening. It's so good and it's so reliable that you don't need anything else. You can just play something else if you feel like it. So that's my endorsement of the Slav. All right, so they bring their bishop out. Logical move. I think I'm actually going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of copy them here. We're actually getting somewhat of a symmetrical position here so far. And they go there, protecting d4, reinforcing f4, bishop on f4, and letting their bishop come out. This is all theory, so I'm going to do the same. So far, I'm kind of mirroring white here. But you kind of get that in a lot of these somewhat similar openings from, black and white's perspective. So they bring their knight out. Interesting move. Now their major pieces are connected here. So I'm going to go ahead and develop my bishop, and now I'm ready to castle soon. Harry very quickly plays c3, just being extremely solid. They're not playing very challenging though so far, so I can kind of just do what I like. So I'm actually just going to castle here, and now my king and my queen are connected as well. Or my rook and my queen. Interesting. they instantly... Harry's playing too fast, Harry. Harry, chess coach, don't tell your students to play as fast as you. Because your moves, they got to be good if you're going to play fast. You can't play bad moves quickly or I don't believe you. Man, I'm going to beat this guy so bad. Guys, if people play instant moves on principle, you should just want to beat that player. And I'm going to beat this player bad. Not because they're irritating me, but just on a logical level. If you play all your moves instantly, you haven't calculated. And I'm not saying, I'm not, this is the opening, so maybe they've seen this position many times. Maybe they've played this position many times. But getting into a position that you've played many times that is not very good is not too great of an advantage. Maybe you have a small time advantage. I'll still beat you. So they're attacking b7. I'm going to go and slide over and defend. And next I'm expecting knight e4 attacking my bishop, but I can just slide back and there's no way for them to attack me further. Because they've created a hole on g4 by playing to h4. They can no longer kick my bishop out of that square by playing h3. And that's why I said, if you're going to play a move fast, it's better be a good move. Because I don't think that was a good move. It might not be bad, but it wasn't good. I'll put it that way. Yeah, they go in there, but I can back up as stated. Because you'll notice my knight and my bishop are controlling g4. Yeah, they're very aggressive, but we'll still beat them, guys. Don't worry, we're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat them. They're aggressive, but we're gonna beat aggressive players. We like doing that. Okay, just because someone's aggressive doesn't mean you have to lose the game and just roll over. You can beat aggressive players by just playing better than they do, even if you're not an aggressive player. All right, so they're trying to trap my bishop. They're going g4, wanting to trap my bishop with a pawn storm. So I have to save my bishop here. It's likely I have to back up real quick. Oh, let's see how to save my bishop. This is interesting. Okay, so we might get into a weird situation where I have a bad... So they might hunt down my bishop with their knight, but not with their pawns. It's possible I have kind of slipped into a little bit of their gimmick here. It seems like this is their pet opening, and they're kind of luring me into it a little bit here. So I need to back up my bishop to avoid being trapped, first and foremost. And I think they're going to now play g4. Yeah. And now a really sucky move I have to play is probably h6 or h5. And then they can take knight takes g6, f takes g6, and my pawn structure is ruined and they have two bishops. But the story's not over. So they got their pet opening here. They got their little gimmick, but the game is not over by any means. So h6 or h5, I'm assuming h5 is better because it's more forcing, it's more principled. But is it better? Let's see, h6 or h5. Just decide real quick what you want to do, because this guy's very fast and he's playing tricky, so I don't want to get low on time. h6 or h5, like what kind of structure do I want in the future? I'm gonna go h5 to shut down his play on my king side. So he's gonna have two bishops in a better structure, but again, That's not the end of the story. We're still going to play and see what the heck happens here. Okay. So they developed their bishop, getting ready to castle on either end and attacking my pawn. There's a funky move that I really like here that I might play. King f7, just defending. Because I don't want to step into king h7, you know, opposite that bishop, pinning my own king and pawn and whatnot. Or I could play, I could technically, if I wanted to, I could just play h takes g4 here. But I don't know if I want their two bishops getting into my position. So, well, let me take this pawn. I think that's the right move. I'm going to take this pawn. So I'm up a pawn currently. They take a pawn, so now material is equal. And my king is short on squares a little bit. Now I'm going to go and take this pawn because opens up some lines, and now are there any threats that they have here? I don't think they have any threats. I'm gonna develop my other knight, get my knight developed, and connect all my pieces. So why I liked trading my pawns there is because now I don't have double pawns or anything like that. Okay, so they go in, they're attacking e6, completely logical. So where to move my knight to defend? I guess here. Now there's a discovered defense on e6. So they're playing very fast. They like being up on time. Evidently, they're up on up 16 minutes. They haven't used a second on any of their. They haven't used a second past their increment on any of their moves. But we'll beat them, guys. You don't lose. Like, just because a player is trying to intimidate you doesn't mean you have to lose, right? I'm not intimidated. You know, like if I'm not blundering, you can't beat me. Okay. So I think I'm gonna jump my knight in here. I'm actually threatening a fork on f2, landing a fork on both of his rooks. This gives up a pawn, but I was thinking that well, let's see, what was I thinking here? Did I just maybe I just blundered a pawn. Shoot. I was thinking that I had man, I may have hallucinated there. Okay. So now I'm down a pawn and he's got two bishops, so my position is pretty bad. Alright, let's try to survive here, guys. Let's try to survive here. I'm not playing extremely well, but let's try to survive here. Let's try to show how you survive in a worse position, because I am worse now. I wasn't worse until I lost that pawn. I think I hallucinated there. I thought I had something there, and then I didn't. Okay, so he brings his rook opposite my king, but I have available defense in the future with my rook and my bishop on f8 and e7, so I'm not super scared yet. Let me go in here, jumping my knight into the center, pressuring him. So he goes there, which is sensible. I'm going to take back here. So something that white has to be careful of is they can't play, e4 at any point because their bishop is pressured by my rook. Okay, so they're trying to attack me with their queen. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and block that. I'm not scared of a rook endgame or any kind of endgames because a lot of them should be drawn. I'm only down a pawn and my position doesn't look that bad. I'm not that beat up about this position. So they're coming over threatening checkmate. Let me stop that checkmate threat. Coming over trying to pressure my king with h6, trying to attack my pawn further. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out of this pin. I'm gonna unpin the pawn so that if it's attacked, it can move sideways if it wants to, or it can move forward if it wants to. I'm not playing very well, man. This is hard. If they play h6, if they play h6, that's a good move. If I take the queen, h takes g6, king g8, and they're kind of coming after my king there. Hi, Mary. Come here, baby. Come get your papa. Help with this chess position. What should I play here, Mary? Alright, let's play. Let's go. I can't move my bishop because then I'd get checkmated. Okay, so let's not move my bishop. Mary, you squawking at me. But they're not like threatening a ton there. So I could just move my queen away here. But yeah, I'm losing pretty badly in a lot of cases that I'm looking at here. I might have to take the queen, which looks horrible. I might have to take the queen here. Any alternatives? Because they're attacking my queen and they're also, you know, threatening to play h6 in a lot of cases and just shred my king open. I think I have to take the queen, which is just that is a bummer. I have to take the queen and like try to not get checkmated, but am I getting checkmated? So queen takes g6, h takes g6, king g8, rook h3, rook e8, rook g to h1, king f8, and my king is fucking getting out of there. That's hilarious. Let me go into this endgame real quick and try to survive. You know, that's funny. And maybe my rook should go to d8 to protect. So here, rook here, here. Yeah, let me go here to protect any checks from the bishop on d6. I might be able to draw this, guys. That'd be pretty cool if I drew this game after getting kind of crushed in the opening in the middle game. Because they thought they were checkmating me, and they thought they were... I mean, they're up a pawn, but let me try to win this, guys. Or draw, or whatever, you know. Okay. That's a good move, attacking my rook. But I think I can scoot my rook over. But then they could check me on d6. And then I would have like nowhere to go. So I can't do that. So let me play rook c8. And then I'm getting out. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think I can draw this. Let me draw this, guys. All right. Okay. All right. So I can't move my king because if I move my king up onto the 7th rank, I would be pinning my G pawn to their rook. So that's a good move for them. So I'm slightly paralyzed here. What to do? Well, and the other thing is the rook is threatening to like get into my position in a lot of cases. Like if they play bishop to e4, they could threaten to take my bishop and swarm me with the rooks and their pawns and everything. So I thought I was going to draw, but that's a good active move. And actually they could theoretically be threatening to play rook takes f6, g takes f6, g2, queening tactically. So I'm gonna do something. Jeez, my position is not good, guys. I gotta do something drastic here. I gotta do something clever. I'm losing, for sure. I'm losing, but I have to, and it sucks to lose because I gave up a pawn for no reason. That's my amateur nature, guys. I can't tell you why I gave up the pawn. I think I just didn't see that I was losing it. So, and now it's snowballed into this losing position, and I was so excited about beating this player with my superior experience, but I got cocky and I got careless. All right, but I have to do something drastic here. I think they're threatening rook takes f6 or bishop e4 or bishop e5, which would be probably equally devastating for either case. Hi, Mary. What? I can't play with you at this exact moment, but if you want to be my chess buddy, you can be my chess buddy. So I think I have to play this and pitch a pawn and try to go into a rook endgame down a couple pawns and see if I can. Nah, I'm just. You know what? I'm gonna resign. I'm seeing this position and it's just not good. Let me resign. Pretty rough loss there. Good game, Harry. Harry played very dynamically. They ended the game with 16 minutes on their clock. So that's how it happens with, these tactical dynamic players can kind of humiliate us slow strategical positional players sometimes, guys. The flip side is that sometimes, so White just thrashed me here. They just kind of pushed me around and manhandled me and then left me on the side of the street. But there could be a flip side where if I played a match with Harry, my wins over Harry would be I'd be strangling them like a python, refuting all their ideas and progressing all my ideas and beating them without them ever having a chance. But the flip side is, they just absolutely murdered me and kind of laughing their way to the bank here, right? Because they ran away after being ahead on the clock, and I'm, about to get approaching time trouble, and I lost badly. So, really good game by Harry. Let's dive into the analysis real quick. There probably shouldn't be a ton to say except for that I lost a pawn, and then they played extremely well, and pushed the victory through. But tough loss. Let's look at it real quick. Let's look at it real quick. first loss of the series, guys. Good player. So they're going to be over 2,000, and now I'm going to be into the 2,000s as well. I think when I lost that pawn, I'm going to be honest, guys, I think I didn't see that I was losing a pawn. I thought it was a trade, and I didn't see, I was like, oh, shit, I'm losing a pawn. So sometimes you really, like, I think I was going off of pattern recognition, and I wasn't calculating fully. I think that's what happened. So, and that's how quickly the game can go away. Like, if you do something that you didn't mean to do, just like in life, right, guys, it's probably the case that it's incorrect. If you do a random action, it's possible that, like, right, like if you're stepping in the darkness, it's possible that you'll step in the right area, but it's not likely, and it's certainly less likely than if the light was on and you were looking around. So I blundered a pawn and lost pretty savagely after that, and I was getting really excited thinking I could draw because the position did look somewhat drawish. It did look somewhat drawish. Like, to my eyes, it looked somewhat drawish, and I'll explain to you guys how it looked a little drawish. But then they proved there was tons of play in the position. There were sacrifices, there was, trades that could open up lines. They were killing me, and it was a lot, they had more active rooks, they had a more active bishop, they had that killer pawn on my king side running up the board. So, yeah, I'm impressed with that game, and I learned a lot from it. Don't blunder, and after that you really have to be hyper vigilant of their threats, because think about it this way, guys, sometimes threats are 2 or 3 moves out, but if you miss it, if there's a threat that's 3 moves out and you don't address it now, it becomes more dangerous, just like in real life. So now it's 2 moves away, right? So it's like a bear's running at you. Would you rather have 300 feet or 200 feet to get away? You might get away, but now it's 100 feet away, and now you're really scared. Now it's on you because you never prepared for it. You never saw the tactic coming. But if you saw the tactic coming, you have 4 moves to prepare for that bear coming at you. When the bear comes, you dodge the bear, hit him with bear spray, and run away. And you got away, and you juked that bear when they never thought that was going to happen. They thought they were going to gobble you up and shit you out, and you juked them. And that's what you want to do in chess, guys. You want to pepper spray that bear in the face and run away instead of getting ate up and gobbled out. All right, let's look at this analysis. Let's see what we got here. So the final position is going to be hilarious with this analysis. Let's see what the analysis is here. +7. Oh my God, that is brutal. +12, plus like 15. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. And it was only 32. I mean, 32 moves is a fair size game, but it's somewhat short. All right. See what went wrong here. I think it was just the pawn, and then it's likely I didn't play perfectly after that. It's probably the case is they won the pawn and then their advantage increased. But to my credit, I tried to fight back as hard as I could. Like, I wasn't giving it to them, and any mistakes I may have made weren't from, like, they were well intentioned. I was trying to get back into the game, and I was trying to draw. Like, if you lose a pawn or two, one of the best ways to draw or win is to just like fight tooth and nail. Like, no, man, like I'm on principle gonna draw this game, and you have to force me to lose. You have to checkmate me. And and in a lot of those cases, you're gonna get the draw, or you might swindle them and win. But let's see what happened here. Let's turn off. Well, actually, let's go to the table of tapes here. That gives you a nice big overall picture. And I bet you it's like equal, and then boom, it shoots up to white, and then they just win. I think that's what the graph is gonna show. Boom, see that? Equal, and then white wins. That's it, man. Like, sometimes don't blunder pawns. See, this is what happens when you blunder a pawn. That's all it takes. One pawn and you lose. Yeah, we don't even have to thoroughly analyze after I'm losing, because White showed you why I was losing. They played like a computer, to their credit. Like, they played amazing. Those moves, like, sometimes as a good player like myself, you don't see a good move. If you don't see a good move and then someone plays a good move, you instantly know it's good. You're like, oh shit, like, damn, like, it's like the last move you wanted to see, but you didn't know it was there. And then when they play it, you're like, ooh, I can tell it's bad. And when they played, Rook C1, I was like, oh Lord, like, I can tell my position's getting horrible. And what it is, it's a menacing pressure, right? Like, you can see, like, think about it this way, right? If you have an army marching towards you that outnumbers you and outmaneuvers you and outarms you, you're nervous as hell. And it doesn't matter how much distance there is away. It doesn't matter how smart of a general you are. It doesn't matter how experienced your soldiers are. If you're outnumbered, outgunned, and they just have, like, what is available to them outmatches you, you're nervous as fuck, and you basically have to just grit your teeth, dig your heels into the dirt, and try to make them work as hard as humanly possible to win. And I tried to do that. It didn't work because the position was so bad. So let's see what we got here. Equal. And I was criticizing them a little bit in their opening, but this is probably theory, because apparently it's still better for White. So shows what I know. I don't know, and I'll admit this, guys. I don't know. The only theory that I know, guys, I'll tell you this right now. The only theory that I know is theory from experience. So chess is such an unbelievably complex game. There's hundreds of openings. I don't know them all. The only openings I know are openings that I know from experience, and even those openings I only know certain parts of them. So with openings, you really, like, you don't beat yourself up if you don't know everything. Even if people play something that looks weird, this is probably just a sideline. And I'm sitting here assuming White is kind of being over ambitious, but they're evidently playing theory. If the computer says they're fine, I'm sure it's theory. And so just play good moves, and take your opponent's moves for whatever they are. Don't assign any negative or good judgments to them. Just try to be as objective as you can. And I think possibly why I rushed a little bit and lost that pawn subconsciously was because I wasn't taking Harry Chess Coach so seriously. In the back of my mind, I was thinking I'm gonna and maybe some of my comments could have indicated this, that I was thinking, they're playing too fast. They're not calculating, but hey, they knew their moves, and I was wrong. So I block. Not quite the best move, evidently. Oh, and this is bad. That's losing. That's fascinating to me. That's the losing move. It makes sense to me now that I see it, because conceptually speaking, right? I'm trying to get away, but I'm not really getting away, right? So, like, you can see what I'm saying. I'm wasting a move and giving them another move with which to attack me. So I needed, instead of wasting a move, I had to have played an accurate forcing move to get my bishop out of dodge. And I knew my bishop was in hot water, but I played incorrectly. And this was what happens a lot with amateurs. Good players, and by good players, in my opinion, that means people who are like 1500 to 2100, or you could even say 1200 to 2100. It's anyone who plays anyone who when they play a game of chess, it looks like chess. So let's say 10,000. Let's say 1,000 to 2,100. If they play a game of chess and it looks like chess, oftentimes we lose because we misevaluate. It's not even that we missed something, it's because we played something thinking it was good and it was bad. or we didn't play something because we thought it was bad, but it turns out it was good. So you really have to be good at evaluating positions, and that only comes from experience. Unless you're Paul Morphy and you're just a genius popping out of the womb. Okay, so they're winning here if they play right, and I have to fight hard as fuck. So what should I have played? Oh, that's interesting. H5. I have to think about that in the future, guys. I'm playing H5 preemptively, right? Instead of later, because I played H5 later. This happens all the time with me as a good player who's not a master. As I'll play moves 1 or 2 moves too late when I'm forced to play them. Like, my opponent will make me realize that it's a good move because they're attacking me, but I won't have seen it coming. Like, I won't have like it's like, right, it's like you don't make the defenses in your position proactively. You only make the defenses in your position when you see the warrior running at you, but you want to be defended before the warrior runs at you. So that's fascinating. The computer makes me think a lot about how ideas that I have should be occurring to me a move or two beforehand, and so that makes me think that a lot of ideas that you play in a chess game, you should really prioritize. Like, you shouldn't just play a good move or an okay move. You should prioritize here and there, which, like, okay, should I play like an active move, or should I play a defensive move, or should I play something that is a little bit of both. It all depends. And I tried to get my bishop out, but I didn't realize how bad my position was going to be in the resulting position. And the other thing was, I didn't even think of H5. If I thought of H5, I would have played that move by far, because I hated the structure that I got in the position. As a positional player, that structure makes me want to vomit. With my pawns on G7 and G6 and E6, it's just horrific. I mean, you have a backward pawn on E6, you have double pawns on the G file, and they're split up and they're not helping each other. They're not gelling. So really great game, Harry Chess. I would like to play you again if we ever randomly recycle, or I'll shoot you a friend request, and we can play again, because I learned some things, and I would play this opening again and try to improve on it from my mistakes. Good game, Harry. I hope you all learned something from this video and liked it, and I'll see you next time. I'll be back here quite soon for another video. Peace.